Well, is Edgar Wright's The Running Man a plain zero? Find out next, up next at Mark at the Movies. So I saw Edgar Wright's Running Man last night. Been really looking forward to this. This is not a remake of the Arnold Schwarzenegger 80s 90s flick. This is a retelling of Stephen King's short story under the pseudonym of Richard Bachman. So a very different film, but people who enjoyed the Arnold Schwarzenegger version of The Running Man will still be pleased. There's plenty of little nostalgic points in here, especially with the commercials of The Running Man. I felt very nostalgic in that piece. So this is a piece by Edgar Wright starring Glen Powell. Now let's get this out of the way right now. I don't get Glen Powell. I don't get him. I don't get the appeal. He's your typical beefcake. You know, he has his shirt off in this and he's really fit. He's cut. But man, what a vanilla leading man. I was trying to think what the last movie was that I saw of his, and it was Twisters last year, and he was fine in that. His two biggest movies are Top Gun Maverick, which is Tom Cruise and Jennifer Connelly, and Twisters, and now this, The Running Man. And man, one of the most vanilla leading men in history. Taylor Kish, anyone? So that didn't really, his whole performance didn't really work for me. I know he was trying hard, but man, he's kind of like Kevin Costner with his face. And it's like, you feel angry? Tell your face. You feel happy? Tell your face. Like all the emotions of Glen Powell. So anyways, getting that out of the way. The Running Man, directed by Edgar Wright, who's had a nice run, whether it's Hot Fuzz or Scott Pilgrim versus the World. So he has this frenetic pace about him. And this movie has an intense, frenetic pace, and it struggles with the pacing. The pacing, I mean, right away you are pushed into this film, and it's cut, 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 cut. Whoa! And it reminded me of Crank. If you remember Crank a few years ago, that movie that was just on steroids with Jason Statham, that's just like, wow, that's this. That's The Running Man. So what is this about? This is about, in the near future, The Running Man is the top-rated show on television, a deadly competition where contestants must survive 30 days while being hunted by professional assassins. Desperate for money to save his sick daughter, Ben Richards is convinced by the show's ruthless producer to enter the game as a last resort. So the biggest difference between this and the Arnold Schwarzenegger film is the Arnold Schwarzenegger film was in an arena, and all the different hunters had all these different themes, whether it's Sub-Zero or all these different characters. Well, in this one, you're running out in the world with people with social media and cameras ratting on you, and the bad guys are much more generic hunters, if I'm being honest. And honestly, there was some standout stuff here. You could tell Edgar Wright really understands direction and angle, and the cinematography was really nice. It felt like an action movie. Coleman Domingo as the game show host. He's excellent in this. You might remember him from Sing Sing. He really got to show some really awesome personality in this. So that was really fun to see. I enjoyed that. But ultimately, where this movie fails is its really pathetic third act. There was some good stuff in the first two acts, but the third act just absolutely fell off the rails. And with a runtime of 2 hours and 10 minutes or so, you can't have 25 minutes of an absolute disaster at the end, where really it's not resolved in the end. You're waiting for this amazing resolution with incredible action and for the hero to win, or at least there to be a satisfactory resolution, and there's not. It cuts to something else, and it's like, blah, 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 and you're like, what? What just happened here? Why did we not get this resolution? And if you're gonna have a longer, silly action flick, you can't do that. Cut the runtime 20 minutes, resolve the stinking movie. It was, I mean, man, just a terrible third act. Also, Glen Powell's character runs along the way as he's running. There's too many friendlies in this. You have characters, whether it's Michael Cera or whether it's William H. Macy or it's Amelia Jones. He runs into friendly after friendly after friendly, and they almost become like MacGuffins. And here's where the real problem lies. There's no real connection. Glen Powell has no real connection, not even to his wife or his kid. And they spent some time developing that. I never felt that connection with any of it. The runtime was too long, the pace was too frenetic. The third act was ridiculous. Didn't make a whole lot of sense. This is by far Edgar Wright's weakest film, by far. And because I don't get Glen Powell really, and because the script challenges, and because this kind of turned into just more of a, well, a nostalgia piece in some ways, there's not a lot to like here. I'm going to give this one 2.5 stars because when it all comes down to it, I'm not going to remember this in a couple days. And there is nothing in here that's spectacular. This is not going to be a fan favorite or something that people are going to flock to the theaters to go see, which is too bad because this is a movie that was made for the theater. So 2.5 stars for The Running Man. What do you think? Do you like Edgar Wright? Do you like Glen Powell? Are you going to go see The Running Man? Let's talk about movies. Let's continue to have this conversation at Mark. Movies.